Have you ever heard a quote 100 times, and then one day, life hits you hard enough that you finally understand what it means? We were reading through these axioms from Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. And honestly, some of them sounded cliche to us years ago. But after depression, failed businesses, fear, financial stress, rebuilding our lives, and trying to grow into different versions of ourselves, these ideas hit completely different now. Some of these ideas we ignored until life forced us to understand them, and others are ideas that genuinely shaped us, challenged us, or proved true in our own lives. So today we just wanted to have a real conversation about the ones that resonate most with us and the experiences that finally made us understand them.
I was very excited after I finished reading the book, Your Wish is Your Command. I remember reading the axioms, and like you said, we heard them in the past a million times, and it seems like they're just another quote out there, another motivational quote or so.
Yeah, it's almost like you hear them a million times, but you don't understand it until you're ready to understand it.
Exactly. So I think these axioms, they're very powerful. One of them is, a man without a dream is dead.
This one I actually have not heard 100 times or a million times in my life. But when I was reading through them, I was like, oh, that's good. That's really good, because I struggled with this so much in my own life.
Yep. Well, you were reading the book and you were going with the emotion of the book, but at the same time, you are analyzing everything, right? In the past, the present, and the future. So, and then you see the quote, a man without a dream is dead. It gives you a different perception of life.
It hit me hard because when I read it, I started thinking about how when I was younger, I didn't have dreams. And I thought to myself when I read this, I thought maybe that's why I was so depressed, like most of my life. Maybe that's why I struggled with depression so much and I felt so emotionally empty inside, because I really didn't have a dream other than a knowing that I wanted to, like, let's say, have a business. That was like my dream, but there was no substance behind that. The desires I had around that were really hard to define. So I felt really empty, and I'm pretty sure that's what fueled the depression that I was feeling.
So you never thought to be like a veterinarian or...
No, God, no. I never had any dream. I never had any real guidance, even from my parents or family and friends growing up, like, oh, you should do this, or like, there was no encouragement. There was no, like, let's figure this out together, or let me help you, or let me encourage you. There was nothing. And it was always kind of just like I was left to my own devices, and I felt very lost. And I think that really fueled my depression.
Yeah, you know that recently, putting the episodes together, I have discovered we've been married for over 10 years now, and together, like, 16
Mm-hmm.
or more. And I noticed that there's some things that I kind of knew, but now that we're just kind of talking,
Now they make sense.
it makes sense. Yeah.
You're
Uh,
like, oh,
it
yikes.
is weird because,
Like, that was a red flag I missed.
yeah, absolutely. I'm
No.
kidding. But when I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian, was one of them. And then I remember marine biologist. That was
Mm.
another one. I wanted to be so many things when I
Well,
was a kid.
good thing you didn't go to school for marine biologists, because it wouldn't work out in Arizona.
Yeah, true. That was when I was a kid. Maybe at my daughter's age, around 10 or 12. I used to read books about it, about, animals and Discovery Channel and all that stuff. So, but then I got into music. And when I got into music, I was like, wow, this is it. Yeah,
Mm.
this is it. I was just obsessed with music. Basically, everything was about music. Since the moment I got up, I would grab my guitar. I think I started learning playing guitar when I was maybe 15. I learned so quickly. I started playing and singing after 6 months.
Yeah.
I took some classes, and I was just all in. It was just crazy. It was an obsession. Nothing made more sense to me than just music. And I remember the first time I played live with my rock band. I was 18. This feeling, it's a unique feeling. that you're so alive, that life makes so much sense, that such a happiness, such a bliss is just so hard to describe. To the point that even if someone right now drops $10 million on my table, I don't think it will give me the same excitement I got. You know what I mean? It felt so full to all my cells. I remember that feeling. Uh,
Like you could conquer the
and
world.
you can conquer the world, exactly. And of course, I was living in Colombia, which the music industry wasn't easy. It's never the music industry is not easy, right? Even if
Mhm.
you have all the talent in the world, there's tons of musicians with great talent out there, but a lot of them they don't make it, right? So we have these social beliefs also in South America. What the heck are you gonna like a rock band? What doesn't make any sense, right? So my fear started to creep in, and then was just okay. You need to be or a lawyer or a doctor or come on,
Mm.
come back to reality. None of that shit is gonna work out. And I went to college for engineering to study engineering, and I continued with music. But then you have like all these inner battles, right? Like, am I gonna continue with playing music or am I just gonna graduate? So now your dreams they started perishing
Mhm.
or they started vanishing.
And that's when your depression crept in,
Exactly. And
right around that time.
exactly. And then you're depressed and then you feel like nothing is working out. You're not doing things with a full meaning, with a
Mhm.
full purpose, with a complete purpose. But having a dream, it just gives you a huge fuel to do things that could be very meaningful for the world and for yourself.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, Ken, because in my case, as I said, I didn't have a defined dream. That's why I felt so lost. And I always had this like longing within me of wanting to, have a path, have a purpose, have a road, have something mapped out that I could start and just work towards. And I never knew what that was. And it caused me a deep depression and this, what I feel is like was like a huge delay in starting my life. It was like this longing to belong. I felt like I was just existing and I had no purpose. Without a dream, I felt hopeless. I felt numb. I needed something, a path to follow.
Right.
Well, I turned inward with like this hatred towards myself
Hmm.
because I was upset with myself that I didn't have that or, a dream or a purpose or anything. And I just turned it inwardly like I was worthless.
Yeah.
And that's where I lived in that state of being worthless.
Right. But we have so many talents, and sometimes we think that we just have one dream only. But no, we have more than one. First of all, we have a great imagination. As we explore the world, as we go through life, we realized and we discover new talents and we discover also other interests that they are hidden in us. And then we just have to, let's say in my case, or I didn't continue my music path, but I had other interests that they became alive after I was going through life and after I was getting older,
Mhm.
right? So for those that do not have a dream, there's always something hidden.
Well, yeah, I felt like I had to dig. I mean, we've talked about this before, but like I had to dig really deep
Hmm.
and find what made me happy, what drove me, what gave me purpose. And like that took so long and so much soul searching and, research and trying different things to find out like, I'll try something. Nope, that's not it. I didn't like that,
Yeah,
but you can't just like sit around and think
right.
your way out of it. You have
Exactly.
to do your way out of it, which is trying things.
Exactly. That brings us to analysis lead to paralysis, another axiom in the book.
Yeah, this is a great one too, because this also played a huge role in why I wasn't able to define my dream because I was overanalyzing all the ideas that I came up with of what I might be interested in doing.
Hmm.
And that led to paralysis. You know,
Exactly. Yep.
I just stayed stuck for so long because I was overanalyzing everything. I went through so many different things that I wanted to do. I went to school. I started going to college for psychology. I didn't know what exactly, but I was like, okay, maybe like a psychotherapist or some type of marriage counselor or then I started overanalyzing that and I thought, well, I can't make the money I really want to make with that. So many business ideas that I've come up with over the years, I would start them and then I would second guess myself and I would start analyzing everything way too deeply and be like, ooh, no, this isn't going to work because, XYZ, whatever it was. Over analyzing everything, which led me to imposter syndrome, where I just was like, oh, I can't do this. Who am I to be doing this? And so I would quit all these ideas because I was over analyzing everything.
But I think that you're excellent at executing, Kim. The analysis leads to paralysis. I think this one really resonates with me because I like to analyze too much.
Oof.
That is so much that also hinders my productivity.
Correct. Yes. I'm glad you admitted
No,
that
I
finally.
know. I know. And I'm trying to actually let go faster. Just go,
Yes.
go, 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 go.
Right.
Not in a choppy, crappy way. It's just like I try to remove resistance because I know that I put layers of
I'm so
review,
relieved to hear you
check
say that.
again, check the reviews, check the quality. I mean, it's all that, comes to my mind.
Hmm.
Um, and no, that's when you do not get any progress.
Right.
Overthinking decisions, fear of making the wrong choice, getting stuck in research mode.
Hmm.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Anxiety disguised as productivity because you're just overthinking and thinking. You have this anxiety thinking that you're just putting the content or the product or the idea together, but you are just spinning your wheels or constantly changing direction.
Oh yeah,
No.
that one has been a real trap for me.
Now, some businesses and some things will change direction automatically because no one has like a plan. The plans doesn't really work out exactly how they're written. A plan is just to have it there in front of you and change direction as the situation or the business go. Jeff Bezos said that he was talking about you need to make sure that you are willing to adjust as you go.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because with our businesses, how many times we adjust it,
Oh yeah.
right? Instead of just doing an analysis, which is going to lead you to paralysis.
Well, you need to pivot is what you're saying. Like you
Exactly.
need to be open to being able to pivot, which yes, we've done many times in our business. We were doing our e-commerce in one direction and it was just like losing money like a sieve and we lost a shit ton of money with it, but at some point we had to just pivot and
Yeah.
we did. But you have to know and be open and willing to do that.
Right. Yep. And sometimes the reason we overthink so much is because we're terrified of failing publicly.
Yes, exactly. And that takes us to our third axiom, which is a good plan executed with enthusiasm today is better than a perfect plan implemented tomorrow. Get in the do it now habit, which is kind of like what you were just saying, where something that holds you back is you're busy perfecting everything. Instead, you need to just like start doing,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
even if the plan is not perfect and you just need to move forward.
It's
And
easy to fall into the trap,
oh, for
right?
sure.
You're never going to feel ready,
Right.
right? You're never going to feel ready. Just imagine like you're going to jump in the pool, the water is cold. You're thinking, I'm ready, I'm ready. It's in your mind, but your body, when you get in the water and it's freaking cold, you're, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's freaking cold,
Yeah.
and I thought I was ready. Yeah, well, now you are,
Right.
right? When
And
you're in the water, well, you're already in.
yeah. And one of a good example for this actually is something that we're going through right now is, when I was building the e-commerce store, I was just like listing things and I was like doing it to the best of my ability, right? The best I knew how at that time. But of course, we started it in 2020, it's 2026. Things have changed massively since then. And so now, I just kind of like threw the stuff up there because we needed momentum and I was like go go go, get it done, get it done, get it done. But
Yeah.
now I'm learning that so many mistakes I made along the way and now we have to go back and correct those mistakes,
Yeah.
which is fine because it got us to where we are. It gave us momentum. But I look back on those early listings and I'm like, oh my God, what a piece of crap that thing is. Like, how
Yeah.
was that so successful? In some cases, not successful at all. But like, how was that listing selling so well? The pictures are terrible. The
Yeah.
description's crap.
Yeah. Well, we put the work in back then also, right? So
Yeah.
we accommodated as we could back
Right.
then. We weren't doing it just, blindly.
I wasn't doing it blindly, but a lot of the stuff I was doing, I was just like, it was half-ass, and I'm not like a half-ass person. Like,
Yeah.
I'm usually all in or nothing. If you're not gonna do it really well, don't freaking do it.
So
But also don't get lost.
yeah, you did what you could back then, or we did what we could back then. But again, we didn't get stuck in the plan. We just say move.
Right.
Come on, get it done, get it out.
Because you are like, no, you're not doing it good enough. What's that title? Those keywords suck, and like you start overanalyzing everything. Which, to your point, I understand what you're saying. Like, oh yeah, the title could have been better, but in the same breath, like we need to get it out there and get it going. So, is it a perfect title? No, it's not. But it's the best I know how in this moment, and we can always go back and correct. And same with some of the early podcast episodes. You fought me tooth and nail. You didn't want to release them because they were not 100% wonderful and perfect and everything else. But, we would really get into heated arguments about momentum and moving forward. And I kept reminding you, like, you are putting in all this resistance. You're putting all this resistance into forward momentum and moving forward.
Exactly.
And ultimately I won. And some of those episodes might not be great, but I feel like everything we've put out there so far has a good message, has a good takeaway.
Yeah,
they are what they are.
From our own experiences and what we lived and how we are navigating life and how we overcome things, how we do things,
right?
How we make things better, what we learned so far from our own mistakes, from life, from friends, family.
The point is, Ken, talking to you specifically, we're being authentic and trying to help people.
Yeah.
And there is a message within all the chaotic, like, jumbling. There's a message there that can and will help people.
Yeah.
And who are we to not share it with the world? Like, who's to say that we shouldn't be sharing that with somebody? So that's my point is just get it out there, and people will take what they need to hear. They'll take it. And if they don't need to hear it, and if they don't want to hear it, then they won't take it. And that's fine. It doesn't do anything to us to just put it out there.
Yeah, everything comes from our life, our business, our marriage, basically everything. We're always moving forward. And that's the reason of this podcast also, to get you out of that stuck, uncomfortable position that you're in, that we're also in, that we just let's just shake it off and let's move forward. Every time that you tune in, you're going to be moving forward.
Right. And honestly, one of the biggest reasons people never take action is because of other people's opinions. That is a huge hang up for why people don't execute. And that brings us to axiom number 4, which is don't let people put rats in your head. And this is a good one. This is a huge one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we let people influence us so much.
Yep.
In a previous episode, we talked about, what was it, the unicorn? The unicorn shirt.
My unicorn sweater.
Yeah, a recap really quick about it. You had a beautiful unicorn shirt, and the kids wrote a note discussing, oh, do you see what Kim is wearing today? What an ugly unicorn shirt. You read it, and that put rats in your head.
Yes, it did.
Right? So sad. And letting people put in rats in your head is something that happens every single day. And now even with social media, it's even easier.
Yeah, it's way worse now.
You just get it from every direction. And
because you're allowing other people to project their own fears onto you.
Yep.
You're letting family opinions shape and form your life. Your parents' opinions, your siblings' opinions, your friends, neighbors, teachers, whoever you look up to, you're allowing their opinions, their fears to create your life. And that makes you stay stuck. If you're talking to your mother or your father and you're like, I want to be a musician, when I grow up, and they're like, oof, musicians. I mean,
rats.
This is
right
this
away.
isn't your example per se, because you said your mom.
No, my mom was always supported, but people I know, and society, and my dad, or what are you talking about? Musician? What kind of music?
Yeah, and you can't make money with that. You know how hard that is.
Yeah. Even in the U.S., if someone tells you I want to be a musician, you're like, oh, okay.
Anywhere,
or an actor,
an artist,
an artist, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I say to my dad sometimes, like, oh, that our daughter really is interested in acting. And he's like, oof,
Mhm.
big, hard, but tough business to get into. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't,
Mhm.
only a certain percentage, and he'll come up with
Yeah,
this
yeah,
random figure,
yep,
make it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
yeah,
like, well, I choose to, rather than discourage, I
yeah,
choose to be supportive rather than discourage. If she
right,
wants to try it, I would be there 100% of the way. Of course,
right,
I'd encourage her to have other interests and plan B.
right.
But I would support it 100% if she wanted to go to acting school or whatever she wanted to do. That, of course, my job as a parent is to be there to support her, not to put the rats in her head.
Right. And one thing now that we're talking about this, Kim,
Mhm.
fear sells so well.
Oh, yeah.
You can sell everything with fear.
Mhm.
You think about it, oh, that causes cancer. Oh, nope, no buying it, no
Mhm.
drinking it, no taking it, I'm not using it. If you put a bad spin on something that is related, that is fear based, it sells quickly.
Yes.
You just let it be. Okay, yeah, I can do it. Oh, that's bad for you. Okay, I get it.
The rats that these people put in your head causes us to feel stuck because we're fearful of the judgment that would come along with that. So, in my daughter's case, if I say to her, "Ooh, honey, becoming an actress, that's a tough job. Like, I don't know, not many people make it. Maybe you should focus on a different career instead." Well, first of all, I'm killing her dream.
Yeah, the bottom line, if you have an idea, if you have a dream, if you have something that you want to do, that you're feeling within your heart, don't let people put rats in your head.
We don't need the rats in our
No,
head.
don't
We
need
don't
the
need
rats.
people telling us like, "Oof,
No,
podcasting's a tough business." Like, I don't need those opinions. I
no,
know why I'm doing it, why we're doing it. I know our truth. I know our
exactly.
purpose. Our hearts are in it for the right reasons, and I don't need somebody telling me not to do it because they're projecting their fears onto me. So the fifth axiom we wanted to discuss is your ship will never come in if you don't put it out first. And this is a great one to discuss right after what we were just talking about, which is our own fears surrounding when we were first starting the podcast. We had fears of being visible. I know you said to me many times, like, that we're kind of private people and you're not sure that you want your life out there.
Hmm.
And I kept saying to you, but like, we have a message to share and we want to help people.
Yeah,
And we would be doing people a disservice if we kind of kept our messages to ourselves and our learned experiences to ourselves. If we're not out there sharing that to the world, then we're doing the world a disservice for those people that need to hear it.
yeah, that was a decision, a very hard decision to make, put our private life out there.
Right.
But, putting yourself out there it's a, you know,
It's tough.
it's not easy as you may think. Oh, yeah, sure. Some people love it though. Some people they
Some
just let
people love it. They thrive in
some
it, but
people,
we're
yeah,
private.
be private. Yeah,
We're private people, but the two things can be true at the same time. Like, I can really like my privacy, but I can also really enjoy getting my message out there and helping
yeah,
people.
yeah. Yeah, we enjoy the end result.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we didn't take these steps and just go with the podcast and just do the momentum, then our ship will never come in. If we weren't willing to take the risk and be visible and waiting for certainty, then we wouldn't have this podcast. And so we realized that we can't help people hiding and we needed to put the ship out there because we're passionate about helping people.
yeah. And the whole thing resonate with us. And if you need to actually get out there, just get out there. Axiom 6, inch by inch, anything is a cinch. But yard by yard, it's hard.
Yeah, I love this one because this is where a lot of people get stuck. I know that I have been stuck in this a million times. And, it's the age old saying that you eat the elephant one bite at a time. That's one of my favorites also that goes hand in hand with this one.
Right.
When I had this kind of spiritual awakening and this realization of how much inner work I needed to do on myself in order to get rid of my depression and move forward with my life, this was a great one because I was like, the realization was overwhelming and so profound at the same time. But it was like, oh my God, I have so much work to do.
Yeah.
And I let that take over for a minute. But then I was like, no, you know what? This is exciting. Like, I get to reinvent myself here and rebuild myself, rebuild my entire life from this new mindset that I now had. And so I was excited to just dive in. And I knew it was going to take years because you're always learning and growing and moving forward. That was over 2 years ago now. And the momentum and the changes and the impact and all the things that I've done in my life in the last 2 years to work on myself and change has been amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, everything starts with small steps.
And to recap my story, it's like inch by inch. So it was like one thing every day that I was doing, and I just kept compounding the steps I was taking, reading the books and reading more pages every day, more turned into more books and more books, watching the documentaries and learning. And every day it was like one step. But 2 years has gone by now, and the accumulation of everything that I've done has brought me to who I am today. And the person I was 2 years ago compared to who I am today, it is like, I want to say night and day. And
I see the changes. Yeah, I see the changes. You are very determined about to overcome depression. You did it every day, every single day. I'm amazed by it. The determination that you had to put the work step by step, inch by inch.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and this works for everything. It's not only just to, again, in your case, which is amazing to overcome depression. And probably people are wondering, how did you really overcome depression without medication?
Right.
But that topic's for another day. We talked about this in some other episodes. But you can do anything, right? When you have a goal to accomplish, when you realize, like you said in Mind Valley, you realized that you were a victim of yourself for so long, and that you had the chance to change, that you can change, reinvent yourself, and you did. When you commit to do something, when you commit to accomplish something, the first thing is going to be one little step.
Right. Yeah.
Right after the decision is just one little step for anything.
Yeah.
Right. And we know that because in the past, when we started building businesses, an online business, the first thing that we started doing was, okay, let's come up with a name. So we have the idea, let's say it's a product or whatever the case might be. And then we start with a name.
Right.
And then we're excited, right? It's just a name. You don't have anything else.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's open the website. You have to log in and do all these things. And those are little steps.
Right.
Right. And then the day is over. And then you just have the name, the website. You just have the URL. And then you go to bed. You're excited. 2 little steps. Then again, the day after, another little step, right? So,
right.
And the challenge is, like you said, you have to eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have this idea and all of a sudden in a week, you have this amazing business.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of things on social media now, like, you can make money in 30 days, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The algorithm doesn't even work like that.
No, it doesn't. Because it takes Google time to index your website and whatnot.
Exactly. It doesn't really work like that. So you just have to commit, right?
Yeah.
And eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah. And I want to jump into another example of this. A good example, inch by inch, anything is a cinch, but yard by yard, it's hard. I realized when we moved into our old house, my son was about 12 years old. And, we had boxes everywhere in the house and we're unpacking, and I'm focused on the entire house and the kitchen and the living room and getting the main areas settled. And my son had boxes in his room for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him every day, hey, unpack the boxes, get going, clean up the room, let's get organized, blah, blah, blah. And so finally I realized, he's looking at this pile of boxes and this overwhelm is just sitting on his shoulders. And he's thinking in his 12-year-old little mind, I don't want to. It's so much work, because he's looking at, 8 boxes or whatever it was. And I said, so I finally realized that was the dilemma holding him back, because he's a pretty organized kid, actually.
Yeah.
And so I go in there and I sit on his bed. I'm like, look, like, I know it's a lot of boxes to unpack, but we got to get organized. Take one box and start. And I physically showed him how to do it. We took one box and I started taking everything out and putting it on the floor or his bed or
Yeah.
wherever and just like emptying the box. And I took the empty box out of the room to like cause less chaos in the room. Just get everything out that you can. So then we started taking one thing that I had taken out of the box at a time. Where are we going to put this book? Oh, on the bookshelf in your closet. Let's put it there. Where are we putting these video games? Oh, okay. Well, they're going to go, and it was like one thing.
Exactly.
And by the time we get through one thing, before you know it, the 8 boxes are empty.
Exactly.
But I needed to take that time to show him how to empty the box.
Yeah, people get overwhelmed. We get excited about something and we just want it immediately. I used to be like that. I just want it now. And everyone wants it now. Why the delay? Why you have to delay the whole thing? But things doesn't really work like that. It's one step at a
Right.
time, one step at a time for anything. The last one is one of my favorites. 5 years from now, the person you will be based on the books you read and the people you associate with. And there's more to that to me because I always think, man, if I don't take the leap of faith right now, I know that I'm going to regret in 2, 3, 4, or 5 years. Everything that I'm doing right now, it's going to have a result in 5 years. I'm going to look back.
Yeah.
Imagine that it's like in a saving account. Imagine that you're putting $20 a day.
Yeah.
Every week, right? In this account. In 5 years, you're going to have some money there. Right. So that's the way I see it. I need to do something now because I know in the future, in 5 years, I'm going to look back, man, I should have started something what I wanted to start years ago.
Yeah.
And the quote says, the person you will be based on the books you read. You read more than me, Kim. But I like to read articles, very interesting articles about life, about how the universe works, about manifestation, about psychology, about money. And I go really deep into when I read those or when I read or watch those videos, I put also my critical thinking into it, because again, I'm becoming someone because I want to make sure that in 5 years, I'm like, yes, I made the right decision or I started the momentum 5 years ago. And the people you associate with, man, just think about it, right? You need to surround with people that means well. It's people that are actually taking you to the next level and or you are taking them to the next level.
Yeah, it's
Right?
just like when they, if somebody's like in rehab for alcohol or drug use and they say, one of the first things you have to do is to remove yourself from your current circle,
Right.
right? Because if you continue hanging out with the same friends, guess what you're going to be doing immediately when you walk out those rehabilitation center doors?
Yeah.
You're going to go right back to hanging out with the people that got you there in the first place, drinking the drinks or smoking the whatever the heck it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to remove yourself from people that have this negative influence over you.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing we tell our kids, right? If they're hanging out with people that are going nowhere in life or people that they're getting into trouble with, like that's who they're going to be. And so I get sometimes overly involved with my kids and who they're hanging out with. And, I will try to direct them to a better friend group or a better potential people,
Exactly. The environment shapes your identity. So there's some bullet points that I wrote here, Kim. The environment shapes identity. You should have a good information diet.
Well, for sure.
Right.
Everybody watching crap on social media, the
Totally.
news, it's all negative. And if you're surrounding yourself with all that negativity, then that's your information diet.
Yep.
And you're never going to grow from
No.
that space.
Exactly. You always have to focus on the personal growth. Always at least 50% of the things you're doing is about your own growth. You have to make sure that you're choosing better inputs. Man, you have to put a filter and you need to have this kind of shield in order to get the rats out.
And that's why we try to hang around with people that are growth-minded people. We go to different meetups. We went to one last week Everybody there was growth-minded people. It was like for entrepreneurs. They had a talk about AI and the future of, genomes and this and that. It was a really interesting talk, but the purpose of going to those things is to meet like-minded people that also enjoy the growth mindset and learning and improving themselves. We want to surround ourselves with those types of people rather than the ones who are sitting around talking about, what Sally McHugh wore to the night out or what kind of crappy shoes she was wearing or what her hair looked like or gossiping. We rather focus on growth and improving ourselves.
Exactly. Pick a good book, right? One of the books that changed my life or made me change the way I think is it's called 10X by Grant Cardone. Even though he's all into real estate and all that, but the book is just makes a lot of sense about, how you should approach life and approach business and approach the competition and how approach everything that you do. 10X. It's actually a great book.
So the bottom line is things that you're doing today, the choices that you're making today are going to be shaping the person who you will be in 5 years.
That's right. So what lesson keeps showing up in your life that you still haven't fully faced, accepted, or understood yet?
If this episode resonated with you or helped you in any way, we'd love for you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to go deeper, we created something for you. Head over to kenandkimpodcast.com where you can get access to our full library of rebuild guides. These are step-by-step tools designed to help you actually apply what we talk about here. And if you want to connect with us, join our private Facebook community, The Rebuild Room, where we're having real conversations about rebuilding your life. We'll see you in the next episode.